What's going on, guys? It's Nick here, back with another fantasy football video. This one is the first mock draft Monday. It's not going up on a Monday, but we're just going to call it the first mock draft Monday. Unfortunately, ESPN.com isn't up right now. Well, ESPN.com is up. We can't do the mock drafts. It's only fantasy baseball mock drafts, which I got my baseball team going. We're 1-0, but we can't do a live ESPN mock draft. We got to use Fantasy Pros. And if you guys don't know, during the year, Fantasy Pros is great because say you only got like 10 minutes, you can't really jump into an ESPN one and do like 3 rounds. It doesn't really help you. Just do the Draft Wizard. I think it's actually called the Draft Simulator. I don't know why Wizard's up there. And it'll just simulate a mock draft. It'll just stop at your pick and the computer picks the rest. But we're going to use that right now just because we can't use anything else. Apparently there's not enough supply. I guess not enough people using mock drafts. But we're going to go in. Where are we picking? We'll let Excel see where we're going to pick on this one. Rand 2. We got the 2 pick. So we're going to do a 12-team PPR. We're going to start our draft. And also, I don't know, I probably mentioned it, it's April right now. So if you guys are looking for a legit mock draft, every single Monday, there's going to be a mock draft. Mock draft, can't even talk right now. It's very early. Haven't been getting into this stuff. There's going to be a mock draft up every single Monday. We're going to do 10-team leagues, 12-team leagues, standard, PPR. Probably do one auction because people really don't care about that one. But some of you do, so I'll do that. And I really don't expect a lot of people to be watching this one. But if you are, because I can see in the analytics, sometimes it's like October and you guys are watching like the first mock drafts. Listen, if you're looking for a legit mock draft, go to the channel, hit the videos, and just look at the most recent Monday video for an actual mock draft. This really isn't going to help you if it's like late August. But for the core members of the fam, you guys are going to see what I'm thinking right now. So initially this year, and I've done a lot of research. Believe me, I've done a lot of research over the offseason. Basically what it's looking like for me is some combination of, I guess, the guys up here. Antonio, Elliott, Bell, and DJ. 1, 2, 3, 4. But as of right now in PPR scoring, I have David Johnson 1, Bell 2, Brown 3, Elliott 4. Just because Elliott, he can catch and he's great at pass protection, but he just doesn't catch a lot of balls. That's not really how they operate on third down. They're not like the Steelers. They're not like the Cardinals where they just dump. Which honestly, it's a great game plan because you can easily get 5 yards on those dumps. But they don't really do that. But he's got great touchdown upside. So he's like 4th. In standard, he honestly, I haven't decided yet. He could be 1, but we haven't gone into any standard rankings. It's April right now, believe me. I have my top 25, I think, for wide receivers. And I'll actually show you guys that so there's a lot coming to the site, to the YouTube, but also we're going to have a website this summer. I'm not going to go too much in detail on that right now. And it's not going to launch until like a few weeks into the off season. The first video we have going up is late May. I don't know the exact date. But yeah, this is all like my research right now. But basically, I've only done up to here for rankings for wide receivers. Obviously, Brown, Odell, Julio, that's another debate we got to talk about. I need your guys' input on 2, 3 right there. But for the site, you're going to get like all these rankings and stuff. We're going to be talking about that when it comes up. But just, oh God, what have I done? Well, I've clicked a button. Oh, good, we can go back. So we would draft Bell here because it's a PPR league. And I've done a lot of research into the fact that what should you be taking and what's more valuable. And it's looking like an enormous gap between the top 3 running backs and the rest of the running backs. Like I want one of these top 3 running backs, and if I don't get them, I'm probably not going to take any of the other ones till round 5 or 6. And if I do get one of these top 3, like I'm going to get right now, just drafted Bell, I am likely not going to take a running back until like the 5th or 6th round because I know I've locked this up. I know there's a bunch of injury risk, but I just like if I took Ingram here, all of the wide receivers are gone, and it's just how it's been working out. You get one of those top running backs, you just got to go heavy on wide receivers. It's just the best game plan. So I'm not really going to look at my rankings right now, but what we have option-wise because we're obviously, you guys know, we're not taking quarterback here, we're not taking tight end here. We don't even need to look at those. Not getting any defense or a kicker. Where'd the running backs even go? They're there. So it's telling us we should either be taking Ingram, Hyde, Gurley, Ware, Anderson. And then it kind of really drops off. Obviously, I'm not taking running back, but of the guys I'm looking at here, I don't think Ingram is very good. I know he ended up pretty highly. I was actually shocked at how high he ended up in the rankings last year. I mean, it was basically like the 49ers game really helped him. And he just had like a few games where he went off, and then he had some games that are duds. I don't want him on my team. Ware really dropped off, and there's a possibility, again, the NFL draft hasn't happened yet, possibility the Chiefs take a running back here. If they got, what's his name? McCaffrey. There's a few teams that McCaffrey could go to. That would be a nice fit for him there. Anderson, see, all these guys are like meh. I guess the highest two I'd have are Gurley and Hyde, and I'd probably have Hyde as the highest here, but there's no way I can touch any of them. I think Cooper would be the highest I have on this list, but I'm really, again, I mean, I'll pull this up, I guess, for a second. I think Cooper starts the drop off. Yeah. So I have in this tier down here, I would have really liked to have gotten one of these wide receivers right before Cooper, because then you see there's kind of a drop off. But we basically have to take Amari Cooper here. I mean, there's no way we can take. I do like Devonta Adams. I like Demaryius and Cooks, but you can't take Cooks in the second round. He's easily a third. I'd love him in the fourth, but I don't know if it lasts that long. I really think he's going to go higher than Baldwin. He's going to go higher than Hopkins in drafts. So we'll just see where he ends up. It's telling us to take these guys, but you know what? We're going to take Amari Cooper here. I really wonder how this team's going to turn out. Oh, yeah, we do. Comes right around the turn. So those guys are still there. Ty Montgomery went way too early. Here, so we've got right now Bell and Cooper. I feel very safe with Cooper. I mean, for rankings right now, he made the green tier, which this category right here is like risk based off the scale here. And he made that tier because even though he's not like a red zone threat or anything, and he's probably not going to be, I know every year we talk about like, oh, he's a great wide receiver, he's going to take a step up, Crabtree's going to take a step down. People undervalue Crabtree. I mean, where is Crabtree even ranked? Well, that's not terrible. I have him ranked a little higher. I have him above Edelman and Landry, I believe. But I don't think Crabtree is going to take like enormous steps back. I just think that people don't realize how high Cooper ended up last year. But it was, again, kind of like the Ingram I talked about earlier, a couple huge weeks. But I feel very safe in that it's another year in the system. It's another year in the NFL. Carr has another year. I think they're going to develop more. I think that they were already a heavy passing team, but with the way the league's going, I think that the volume will only increase for him. I think the touchdowns can't really go down, and if he ended up as a high-end wide receiver 2, and he really can't even regress, there's only positive growth for him. I don't even know what that would be, aggression, progression? I think that's the opposite of regression. Anyways, I think that that's a good spot for him. 10 is like a good ranking for him, and I feel safe. So if I feel safe for that one, I can take a little bit more risk with this next pick. Like if I had taken, I don't know, I guess if I had taken Hopkins or maybe Michael Thomas, I would have been a little more safe with this next one. I'm high on Thomas, but there's a lot of risk there. So with really no risk with Amari Cooper, that lets me take a little more here. Again, I really don't want to reach on Cooks, even though there's going to be weeks where Cooks goes off, Bell goes off, Amari goes off, and basically I just won the week. Doesn't even matter the rest of my team. Definitely not taking Alshon. He probably will not make any of my teams. Keenan Allen is very risky, risk reward there. But I feel like the pick here is probably Demaryius or Devonta Adams. And they're not like, great picks. Like Thomas is gonna get, I don't know, 1,000 to 1,106 touchdowns. I don't know. Who do I have ranked right now? Again, these rankings are so early that it probably doesn't even matter looking at them. But I do have Cooks, then Adams, then Allen. So I really have to look more into Cooks. I honestly don't know because I don't know how they're going to use him. Here's another thing. So I believe personally that they brought him in to replace Julian Edelman, but in the future because they can pick up his option for pretty cheap in 2018. So he's going to be here at least 2 years. I think there's potential they sign him long term. I guess it would be next year, maybe during the year, during the offseason. I don't know if he does good this year, but I don't think he's going to replace Edelman this year. So I have Edelman ranked really low. He won't be on any of my teams, definitely in standard. Oh my God, don't touch him in standard. But 21's too high because I think they're trying to have Cooks replace him in that slot role, and because they want Malcolm Mitchell to play the X with Hogan, I guess, but they want Mitchell to be the guy. And so I just think that Cooks, they don't, here's the thing. Belichick values his first round pick so much that there's no way he'd give it up for someone they're not going to use. It's a first round pick. Belichick doesn't just give those away. So Cooks is going to be utilized in the offense, and I think I really do believe they're trying to replace Edelman because Edelman's getting up there in age, and he was not that good last year. If you watched him play, he had a lot of drops, it seemed like, and just, I don't know. Like, the timing's going to be there because Edelman Brady's been around for so long, but, man, if Cooks gets going in that slot, he could be great. So, for me right now, I really feel like it's between these three, and since I'm safe, I feel, yeah, Cooks. If Adams fell to that next round, I'd love that. But I do think I'm going to go Cooks here. That's against everything I believe in, though, and I guarantee you he's not. I wouldn't have taken him in the third round in, like, when actual drafts start rolling around. But we're just going to see who's left. So we're going to have Cooks here. And it's going to be a long time before our next pick. There goes Adams. There goes some quarterbacks. Brady's still on the board, but we don't take... Oh, I would have loved Crabtree here, but do not draft Crabtree and Amari Cooper. Don't do that. Again, we don't touch tight ends and quarterbacks. I'll have an article written on that on the offseason. I'll make a video on that. We don't touch quarterbacks till late. We don't touch tight ends till late. Defense and kicker the last 2 rounds. We solely are running backs and wide receivers. Ooh, I'm going to talk about that running back in a second. Let's just look at the wide receivers. Love Jameson Crowder this year. Sanders, I always like Sanders. He's a great player. Larry Fitz is like a solid option. I mean, he's going to be involved. Well, they're an interesting case. I got to dive a little bit more into that. John Brown, listen, if he didn't have that sickle cell, I really thought John Brown was going to be great last year. Jaron Brown's going to take a step up, so it's possible Larry Fitz goes back, but he's been good for so long. Like, why am I going to count him out? Would have loved Crabtree here, but we took Amari, so we can't really do that. So here, it really does look like we went down into a tier. I would say Sanders and Crowder are still in that tier above. So we'll hold off on Sanders and Crowder. We'll think about that for a second. Ware looks like a great value here. And I just don't think he's that good. They're probably telling us to take Ware, right? No, they want us to take Brady. Okay. But I don't think... Like, Ware's good, but... the volume will not be there. Even when Charles was like the guy, he wasn't getting like 20 carries. So Spencer Ware, no, like I just don't want to pick him on my team. I don't think he's that great. I think they might draft running back. So I mean, I don't know that the draft. I don't know when the draft is. Like a month or so. I think it's in May. But this is the guy I wanted to talk about. Show more here. Oh, some of the guys I like down there, but. Isaiah Crowell, I truly believe, now I don't know, I don't have any evidence for this, I truly believe Crowell is going to be overdrafted this year. I think that's like, the fantasy footballers are talking him up so much, and I just don't see it. Like, do you remember Todd Gurley last year? Everyone was like, oh, Todd Gurley is a great running back, but think about where he is. Think about where Gurley is for a second. I don't know the status of their O-line, but just their offense is pathetic. I mean, their offense is pathetic. It was the lowest scoring by like multiple points per week. So you've got a running back on a terrible offense with, they have a solid defense, but like they have such a bad offense, not going to be winning games. It's not like he was a huge PPR guy. I mean, he caught a lot of, not a ton of balls. He caught like an okay amount of balls, but you don't want to draft a running back. You're not looking to draft a running back on a team that is awful, who's not going to score, and he's not going to catch a ton of passes. Like, why would you want that? So I overvalue Gurley way too much. I think people are going to overvalue Crowell. I know they have a good offensive line, but their team is so bad. Like, so unbelievably bad. They won one game last year, right? So let's just think of this from a DFS standpoint. I'm putting my DFS roster together, right? I'm always looking for teams that are going to win. I want teams that are favorites. Take the running back. High scoring team, favorite, at home running back. That's what I want. The running back who's at home, who's a favorite, score a lot of points. They're going to be up late. They're going to run it. Now, there's also like the PPR aspect, maybe if he's down late. But it's not like Crowell's a monster PPR guy. I mean, there's a potential Duke Johnson takes some of those roles. So I think people are going to overvalue Crowell. There was some insane stat that, like, do not quote me on this, but it was like, I don't know if it was 25%. A massive number of his carries came on like 5 or 6 runs. I don't remember. I'll put a link to it. Not a link to it. I'll write it in the description. I'll try and find that. I'll put it in the description. But it was an insane, like 25% of his yards came on like 5 or 6 carries. Because remember, he had some games where he had like 15 for 125 and a touchdown. People are like, why aren't they feeding him? Well, it's because 14 of those were for like 20 yards. He had some like a 90-yard run. Like, it was just insane. He'd bust off this one monster run, but then he was terrible for the rest of the game. They don't give him the ball late. They don't score a lot of points. I mean, I think, what would they bring in? Kenny Britt? I think that's an okay replacement for Terrell Pryor. Still think Pryor's great. And he's going to be on a lot of my teams, I think, as long as people don't overdraft him. I don't really know where his status is right now, but I've looked into it, and I love Pryor and Crowder this next year. Where'd he go? Donde. There's wide receivers. Where is... Oh, Pryor's going at 24. Really like him there. I would have definitely taken him at this spot. But I just think Crowell's going to be overdrafted. That's case in point. Rob Kelly, much better in standard. Procise, I think they're going to use him as like a wide receiver or something. So he could be interesting here. But then, I mean, there's a pretty big drop down here. Abdullah is going to be a solid option. But honestly, Ware's probably the best pick here. So it's Ware, it's Sanders, and it's Crowder. With the team right now, we got... Oh God, I don't even remember. Oh yeah, we have Bell, Cooper, and Cooks. See, Bell is risky, which is why I would lean a running back here. And we do have a pick coming up. I kind of want to just secure Ware, even though I'm not that high on him. I don't want Crowder. I don't want Eddie. Come on, I don't want Eddie Lacy. Rob Kelly's a standard pick, so you're really getting down here. Yeah, I guess Spencer Ware will just secure him, and we'll see what we have coming up. Oh, beautiful. Okay. So they didn't take my guys. Between Sanders and Crowder, Sanders is getting up there in age. Quarterback situation's meh. I think Crowder has a lot of potential. I'll just see where I have them. But again, don't even screenshot this and trust it at all, because I haven't even gotten this far in the rankings. I have Sanders ahead of Crowder. But that's a tough call. I feel like in PPR, they're probably the same amount of receptions. I think Crowder has more upside. But I really do like Emmanuel Sanders. And there's no one... You guys know I hate Kelvin Benjamin, but that's actually really good value. As much as I hate Kelvin Benjamin, I'm not sure Decker's even going to be a Jet. But as much as I hate Kelvin Benjamin, you look down here. I mean, he's the pick. In this range... Like, I know I trashed him last year, and I know he's not a good wide receiver. He's just not. But he's the pick in this range. Like, come on. 32? Not the pick up here. It's between Sanders and Crowder. I think I'm going to go Crowder just because I think there's a possibility Reed retires. I mean, he's gotten like 7 concussions. I think there's a possibility. We know that Jackson's gone, and was it Pierre Garcon's also gone? So it's basically right now Pryor, Crowder, Reed, if Reed even comes back. So Crowder does have a lot of potential, and I think he's a good wide receiver. He's not like some athletic freak, but he's a good, solid wide receiver, secure in his job, and so I like the pick there. So coming around here, we have an option. Oh, Procise on the board. Let's go. We have the option basically running back or wide receiver. We've got 3 wide receivers right now. I actually didn't check what even the roster settings are, because I'm not going to lie, where even like, is it this button? I just want my team. How do I pick? No, I don't want pick predictor. Whatever. Oh, good. Okay. So usually the leagues that I play in personally have 3 wide receivers and 2 running backs. So that's why you saw me take more running backs or more wide receivers here. So this is our team right now. We have Bell, Spencer Ware, Amari Cooper, Brandon Cooks, Crowder. That's a solid team. But again, okay, this is not what we do. We do not then fill in quarterback and tight end. Is there even a flex? Well, the leagues I play in personally have 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex. So you can start 4 wides. I guess we'll play to this roster setting. But I'm filling in my bench here. I'm not just saying, oh, well, let's fill in the rest of the roster. No. I'm filling in my bench because I am comfortable taking Dalton. Why is Romo on Dallas? I'm comfortable taking Dalton. Honestly, I'll take Bortles. He's awful. He's a horrible quarterback, but I'll take Bortles late. I'll take Eli late. Take Tyrod. Take Winston. Take Rivers. I'll take all of those guys. So why would I take Newton when? And again, I have an article that I'm going to be posting on the website, and I have a video that's going to be going up showing the value of quarterbacks, and essentially there's like no correlation between round and where they finish, and it provides you very little value. We'll say that. It provides you very little value, estimated value. Taking them early and taking them late, there's like no difference. Honestly, there's basically no difference. So we're not going to touch quarterback, and basically our option for filling out the bench, we will not touch Latavius Murray this year. We will not touch Dion Lewis. Woodhead's interesting. Stewart is interesting, but I think they'll draft one. Abdullah is very interesting. Dixon, did he get like suspended or something? Maybe I'm thinking of that wrong. I feel like he's suspended. I don't know. But the pick here for me right now is between Procise and like Jordan, like Deshaun a lot, but a lot in standard, not in PPR. He's gonna allow out of like 1 for 60 games. We don't want to drop that far down, so it's either Procise or Rashard Matthews, potentially Jordan. I'm not probably gonna touch him though. I really can't touch Marshall much this year. I don't think the volume's gonna be there. But Rashard Matthews actually was very, very productive last year. I think he takes a step forward, but I also think they're a run first team. And with the riskiness of Bell and Ware right now, I'm not super pumped about like the security of my team. And I think Procise, if he's used as a wide receiver, I mean, in PPR scoring, that's the play. Oh, Rex went for me. Again, wow. I didn't even realize that. Rex is in the 6th round right now. Now, Rex, I love. He won me a lot of money in week 17 because I had 100% Rex Burkhead and, what's his name? Zach Ertz, was it? I don't remember. 100% both those. They're both like 2% owned and like with the highest scoring of the week. So I won like everything. It was amazing. But so maybe I just think he's really good. Like I think he's a really good player on my Patriots, but there's just so many guys there. You can't take, come on, the 6th round. Like, let's be real for a second. Rex Burkhead's not a 6th round pick. So we've got now 3 of each. I guess we can take a gander at tight end, but look, we took a gander. It doesn't matter to us. I'm not taking Jimmy Graham. Here, Willie Snead's interesting. I got to look more into Willie Snead. I love Michael Thomas. I think he's great. But without Cooks, I mean, Snead was like solid. As a bench guy, I'm fine with that. I like Deshaun, but again, as I said earlier, standard pick. Rishard Matthews, I don't really know what to predict there because now not only is it Matthews, it's Torrey Smith and it's Alshon on the Eagles. And it's not like Wentz is some 5,000-yard passer. I mean, I know it's a lot easier to throw for a lot of yards these days with all the passing, but Wentz is a solid quarterback, not an elite one. So, but also, so Rishard Matthews is like a slot guy. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure he's like a slot guy. He's not like a number one. So Smith's gonna be the deep weapon. It's gonna be Alshon as like that X. He's gonna play that X role, number one guy. So Rishard Matthews' role is gonna stay the same in the offense. It's just maybe he's gonna have less people surrounding him on defense because he's not like the only guy, but he's also definitely gonna get less targets. And it's not like those. I don't know. He's solid. I'll put it at that right now. He's a solid pick with Willie Snead. I think those two would be my pick right now between Snead and Matthews. I haven't researched them enough to know which one I should be taking here, but my gut's telling me to take Willie. And I know he's not like that athletic, and I know that there's risk there also with quarterback injury risk. If you got to think about Breeze is a year older, but I'm going to take Snead here. I think that's the play. I think that's the play is Willie Snead. So, yeah, there's a long time until our picks go by. See, Lewis is not a 7th-round pick. A lot of quarterbacks being taken, some tight ends. Abdullah just got taken. I feel like the pick, as of right now, would have to be Jonathan Stewart. Paul Perkins, interesting. I don't know if they're going to draft one. I mean, this talk AP could go there. As of right now, also, I want to see where Control F. See, we don't even have the option of drafting Marshawn Lynch. But right now, as of recording this, again, mid-April, Lynch is... I think he's probably going to go to the Raiders. It's not official yet, but I'm pretty sure he's going to go there. I have no idea where people... That's such a polarizing issue right now is where people are going to draft Marshawn Lynch. I guarantee you that's going to be like the talk of the offseason. I just know it. If he goes to the Raiders, which I think he will, great O-line, a lot of scoring. He's going to be the goal line guy because, remember, it was DeAndre Washington. Yeah, I think that's his name. DeAndre Washington, he had a chance last year. I honestly thought he was going to take Latavius because, again, I don't think Latavius is good at all. And especially that's why I'm not drafting Latavius this year against that awful offensive line. Okay offense as a whole. I just think that people, you're either going to love Lynch or you're going to hate him. Like, you're either like, I want him in the first or I ain't drafting him. So I think that's going to be like a very unique case where there's going to be some drafts where you can get him late and there's going to be some drafts where he's taken in the first. So it's not going to be a consistent thing. So I think his value will be somewhere in like those middle rounds is where he's going to go on average. But this doesn't have him in there. But I'm saying that because there is talk that the Giants get a running back. Now, I don't know if there's talk with Lynch, but there's talk that they were looking for AP and they're looking in the draft. But if they touch no one, Paul Perkins is a great pick if they get no one. I don't think they will, but I think Perkins is great. And as of right this moment, I don't know if Carolina and the Giants are drafting someone. So as of right now, I'm going to do this assuming that neither of them drafted someone. And so I would take Paul Perkins easily. Forte, I think Bilal Powell is better. Henry has potential to replace DeMarco like mid-season on. You guys know Sims is my boy. But we're not touching this. We're not touching Forte. I got to look a lot more into Hill. I just don't know. But I don't feel comfortable with him right now. So it's Stewart and it's Paul Perkins. For me, it's Paul Perkins. As of right now, again, if you're watching this in August and you think I'm an idiot because they drafted someone, well, I'm sorry. But I want to see my team again because I might just take Stewart. So right now, again, oh no, I don't want that look. We got Bell, Ware, Procise, Perkins, Snead, Crowder. No, we need a wide receiver. We need a wide receiver, so who do I like? Oh, my guys are still there. So here I would just take Jordan. And it's nice when that works out. When you're trying to decide between two, you just take them both. Oh, also, Terrell Williams. Oh, it's weird seeing the LAC. Terrell Williams. Oh, see, I like a lot of these guys. Like, Terrell Williams I like. Britt I like. Love Thielen Adam Thielen. Love John Brown. Like Mitchell. I like Marquise Lee. Kind of a drop up there. Who knows with Josh Gordon? Who honestly knows? I'm just looking if there's any. Why is Martavis Bryant so low? Okay. I didn't think he'd be that low. Yeah, it gets pretty ugly down there. But I mean, obviously, it's going to get. Paul Richardson's interesting. He won me some money in like the playoffs. Standard, I'd pick Deshaun, but again, we're in PPR, so we're going to go Jordan Matthews here. And see, I do like the value of Stewart, but shut up, Jake. But that's the pick. That's the pick with our current roster construction. That's the pick. So what do we look at? We'll look at the quarterbacks and tight ends now because we filled out Bell, Ware, Prosise, Perkins. Solid. I really like that. Then we got Cooper, Cooks, Crowder, Snead, Jordan. I don't love it, but it's not terrible. Cameron Brate's a no-go for me. He's a no-go. I think people are going to be on Brate this year. Listen, everyone was dead. He's not a good player. He's just not a good player. Everyone was dead in his team. No, I'm not touching him. Hunter Henry, Gates is back, right? Again, but Hunter Henry's so good that just some part of the year they were feeding Gates just so he could get that record, which I'm fine with. I mean, Gates deserves the record, but Hunter Henry is good. But I wouldn't draft Gates. Doyle, wouldn't really draft Brate. Fedorowicz, hey, if he has anyone's an upgrade from Brock, even though they have no one right now, anyone's an upgrade from Brock. But I don't know. Jared Cook, listen, you're Jared Cook. So it's kind of gross in this range. So maybe I'll grab my boy Vance right there. Wow, that's gross. That is honestly gross. Ladarius is too injury for me. Honestly, looking at this zero right now, it's Hunter Henry for those guys. Oh my God. See, this is why we wait. Big Ben, Carr. Like, no. I can draft any of those guys. Big Ben would be great here. It's a 10th round. Yeah, he'd be really nice, but I can draft so many guys. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take Hunter Henry. Let's just because all those other guys, I haven't looked into it at all. 11th round. How many picks are in this draft? It doesn't even tell me. See, I don't know how many picks. I don't know how long I'm supposed to wait. I get, you know what, the 11th round for. I go against my own stuff sometimes. But look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like 7 guys I'd still take. I know it's a long time for my next pick, but do we really think they're all gonna go? No, I'm gonna hold off because I want Winston. I'm gonna hold off and just hope Winston doesn't get taken. So now I either take a shot on Sims. Gross. Wow, that's gross. No, I don't want McKinnon. No, I don't want Sproles. I don't want any of those guys. None of the rookies are in it right now because they haven't been drafted. So a lot of these guys would be like a little bit later. Yeah. So wide receivers. Gross. I guess at this point, we'll just take Big Ben because those options are disgusting. And it's not that I wouldn't draft those guys, but I don't know. They just don't do it for me right now. Can we show less, please? Is Hightower even on the Saints anymore? God, these are horrible options. I would not even like draft half of these people. No, I'm not touching Chandron. He's on a different team now. Well, if you were forced me to pick one of these guys, oh God, it would be. See, Matt Jones is terrible. Langford's terrible. Richard, no. Booker's garbage. Jennings is even on a team. I don't even know which running back I would take. Yeldon, just because right now they haven't drafted someone, but I feel like they would. So I guess I'll take Yeldon. Just you're taking shots late. I'll talk about that obviously in other videos, but you want to take shots on running backs late that could do good. And I guess if their offense picks it up, their defense is pretty good now. He's got potential. So now we want to take a wide receiver, and I honestly don't know the status of Gordon. J.J. Nelson's very interesting here. Marquise Lee's very interesting. Marvin Jones is interesting. But like I don't understand. Martavis Bryant, has he just not been reinstated? I thought he was gonna be reinstated and be fine. Like, isn't Martavis the pick? I can get him in the next round though. That's the thing. You got to think about when you can get in the next round. Could Marvin Jones take a step up in year 2 of the offense? Maybe. But I like Marquise Lee. I think he's really good. Run some tape on Marquise Lee, guys. He's a good wide receiver. Or J.J. Nelson. It's either J.J. Nelson, Marquise Lee, or Martavis. I think Martavis is going to be there. So we're going to take Marquise Lee. That was a lot of picks till our next one. Let's just hope Martavis doesn't get taken. Oh, when does this draft end? I don't even know. But it's telling me I'm allowed to take these guys. So we're going to take Martavis. I don't know how many picks there are, but we should probably... Okay, this is definitely the end of it. So that's probably the end of it. We always, remember, kicker, defense, you take... What's the order? Okay, so you take kicker, then defense, because I stream defenses. Just take a kicker on a solid team. I know Tucker's a great kicker, so I'm going to take him. But you take kicker and then defense, but... What the heck? Was there no... Okay, I guess I forgot to take... I got an A-. I got an A, guys. So this is my team. Can you even see it? Can I I don't know if this is going to muff up everything. I don't know what that just did. But this is the team. I'll run over the team, then I'll talk about what I was just going to do. Big Ben, Bell, Ware, Mari, Brandon Cooks, Crowder, Hunter Henry. I like that. Procise, Snead, Perkins. Yeah, this is a good team. We got Martavis Bryant. Big play upside. I like this team. Here's the thing. You can zoom in, you can pause, whatever. In your drafts right now, these aren't doing drafts right now. In your drafts, your kicker and your defense while you're in the preseason, you drop them, right? You guys know that, right? I thought that was a thing people did. Apparently no one knows about that. You don't do a claim. Don't be an idiot. You don't just claim a player after that, because then you lose your spot on the waivers depending on how you do it. What you do, you drop your kicker, you drop your defense. This let me pick more bench players, but ESPN I know will not let you do that. It'll force you to draft a kicker and a defense, but this is a simulator site, so it'll let you do whatever you feel like. You drop your kicker and your defense, then once waivers clear and you can just add people, remember the green plus is add, the orangey yellow plus is claim. We add, so we don't have to use the waiver claim. Add 2 players. Add 2 guys who are maybe even they're just fighting for a roster spot, but there's so many guys that we add in weeks 1 and 2 that should have been on rosters as just late round flyers, but they need to be on rosters because remember Alan Hearns. Kid was going off in the preseason, then he started going off in the regular season, but no one had them on their roster. They're oh, he's going off, but I don't have enough slots. Well, now I'm giving you 2 more slots. Drop your kicker in your defense, pick up 2 guys that have huge upside, but that you could drop easily because you're going to have to drop them. That's the thing. You're going to have to drop 2 of these guys to play a kicker and a defense in week 1. So just take super high upside guys. Maybe even just take guys that could be starters if someone gets hurt. Bank on someone getting hurt. If no one gets hurt, you drop them because you have to anyways for your defense and kicker. I'll be talking about that much more. But that's the end of this one. I don't know how long that was, but Hopefully it wasn't too long. Again, this was a great site to use. I believe you can only do 3 mock drafts per day. I don't know why they limit you. Maybe there's like a subscription thing or something. I don't know. But what's projected standings mean? There is a subscription. Okay. I'm not creating no account. But you can do 3 of these a day. But that's the end of this video. Also, I don't even know how many of you are watching right now. But because I'm only expecting a few people to watch this. Only the core family members are going to be watching this. But we're going to be uploading 5 videos a week starting in late May. So it's not going to be 3 videos a week like last year. We're going to get 5 videos a week. Darren's going to be pumping out some videos along with me. We're going to have the website with rankings and articles. There's going to be a subscription you can have to the website. You can get private access to a Facebook group. You're going to get the tiered rankings with descriptions and injury rankings and everything. Get all of that. It's going to be the cheapest available basically, but we haven't ironed out all the details. So if you ask me questions on it, at this point, I'm not 100% positive, but we will be letting you guys know in May when we pump out 5 videos a week starting, I want to say it's like May 29th. I might do a mock draft Monday, May 22nd. But right now, May 29th is the official Monday. We're starting 5 days a week. So look forward to that. You probably won't see a video from me until then. I just had a few hours right now. I got to go to work after this. Fishing tomorrow. It's going to be good. We're going to catch some fish. But that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. And thanks for watching.